Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more relationship stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too. Let's crack on with today's first story. Much love guys. Now today's first story is titled, Me 26 male with my girlfriend 24 female, 6 years. Hugged my topless friend 25 female. Went on vacation to my home country with my girlfriend. She's been there before, but has never met a really old friend of mine. I grew up with this girl. She was my neighbor since I was 9 until I moved away at 18. Never more than a platonic relationship, basically. Long story short, we get there, go to my house yesterday. I told my girlfriend I'm excited for her to meet my friend. We woke up late today, jet lag, and my friend had already arrived. So I take my girlfriend over the fence to introduce them. She was tanning topless and in a thong when we hopped over. She jumped up when she saw me and literally ran into my arms. I hugged back thinking nothing of it. I guess it's worth noting for context, I was wearing only a swimsuit. I thought nothing of her being partially naked because I've seen her like that a million times. We spoke for a few minutes in our language. I introduced my girlfriend, had coffee, yada yada. The entire time she was wearing what she's wearing when we first jumped over. I noticed my girlfriend was acting off, which surprised but thought nothing of it. So we went down to the beach and hit up a restaurant later on. She was wearing the same thing at the beach, but on shorts and a t-shirt for the restaurant. Get home, my girlfriend says, "Why was she naked? Why were you hugging her naked? Have you seen her naked before? Has anything happened between you guys?" I lied and told her no. I figured there is no point in escalating this. How is her boyfriend okay with this? Yada yada yada. Clearly uncomfortable, my friend is going to be here for another 2 weeks. We are here for one more. I want to hang out with her. Haven't seen her in 3 years, and my girlfriend too. I really don't think anything I did was wrong, or am I just an idiot? Any advice, please? Background on my girlfriend. Great girl, never ever gets jealous. She is okay with me having female friends, so as long as it's platonic. Her stance on nudity is pretty liberal too for Canada/the USA. We've gone to nude beaches. She's been in thongs and topless in public beaches too, especially when we go away. Background on friend. Like I said, I grew up with her, have been close with her for a long time. She has a boyfriend of 10 years and I've seen her in every form of undress. We've changed in front of each other, gone skinny dipping, probably touched her/hugged her multiple times in various forms of undress. My culture is not too hung up on nudity, and this may not be a regular occurrence, but it's not weird. Never more than just friends except for some stupid drunk night where there was a little fooling around down south. Just touching really, and this was when we were 13, so that's ancient history. And luckiest loser says on this one, your girlfriend may have a liberal view on nudity, but it's a whole other thing when someone you don't know hugged your boyfriend with no clothing on. OP responds and says, how would you feel if it was you? Someone replies to that and says, personally, I am fine with my boyfriend having female friends, but that doesn't mean I want to meet one of them for the first time when she is mostly naked. Also, lying to your girlfriend about your history with your friend may have seemed like a good idea in the moment, but you should be honest with her, especially since it sounds like it was just youthful exploration of sorts. Sour Lemon says, I wouldn't say that your girlfriend's response was that strange. If I were in her place and not used to your culture's view on nudity, I'd probably have the same response. I would note here that most people who grew up in the US and Canada have somewhat of a prudish view on nudity. Even being nude around the same gender is embarrassing for some people, and being nude around the opposite gender would be very uncomfortable for most. I'd simply explain your culture, apologize for not being more sensitive to her comfort level, and let her know it wasn't intentional, and maybe ask your friend to keep a top on next time you hang out. Another user says, did your friend know you were coming over when she was nude? Maybe she is bored with her boyfriend and wants to cause trouble. Nudity is one thing, but meeting her that way? Honestly, pressing new bodies together is really crossing the line. Your girlfriend seems like a good catch, and she must be so uncomfortable and pissed right now. I would be too. If she isn't comfortable with you hanging around Miss Naked Body Press, then you only have yourself to blame. You have a girlfriend now, so hugging other naked girls is not okay. It does not matter what you saw or did in the past. You have a girlfriend now. That means no other girl's boobs should be against you, and you shouldn't be lying to her. Ryby says, okay, OP definitely fucked up, but why is no one talking about the friend? What was she thinking? It's extremely disrespectful to press her naked body to you in front of your girlfriend, and then to basically not acknowledge her there while talking directly to you in another language. It seems to me she was trying to prove something, like she wanted to knock your girlfriend down a peg. I don't believe she's that naive to think her actions were innocent. So OP gives us a mini update on the same post and then a full update in a second. They said, update, sorry for the delayed response time. I read all of your advice and acted on none of it. My girlfriend and I are great now and have been for the last 4 to 5 days, and so is my friend. I'll explain in detail once I'm back. You guys are truly quick to assume the worst. OP continues in their main update and says, what happened after? We went to bed. She was still upset though. I wouldn't say angry. Had breakfast, then met up with friend again and went to a beach about 10 kilometers away. As usual, my friend was topless on the beach as she normally is. My girlfriend and her got to talking while I was in the water. She does speak a bit of my language and has been trying to learn more, so as long as my friend spoke slowly and used basic words, they were able to hold a conversation. Apparently, my girlfriend asked her about if we've had any history. My friend said no, but that we've known each other for a long time and look at one another as brother and sister. She asked about her nudity too. My friend said it's not a big deal here, and that being on a beach topless is better than anything. The only people not doing it are tourists. So my girlfriend, by the time I was out of the water, was topless too. She pointed out to me by the end of the day how she saw a lot of women hugging a lot of different men, aka not just couples, while topless, and said that she felt weird about it last night but realizes this is how the country is. The next day, my friend's boyfriend came and we were hanging out in front of the terrace when he did. I was in my underwear, my girlfriend and friend in their underwear and topless. She took his hand and kissed him, customary here, while topless. I had no issues with this, obviously. We spent the day with them, went out to a club and then went skinny dipping with the other couple and a larger group of my friends we also met up with. Throughout the remainder of the trip, we were nearly inseparable as a group. We all got along beautifully. My girlfriend herself started leaving her bathing suit tops at home and brought thong bottoms. When she saw people who she had met earlier and they went to hug her, she had no issue doing so in whatever state of dress she was in at that moment. Now, because so many of you asked where I'm from, I will start by saying that my country has less people in it than many cities in the US. It is a coastal country, and will not say more because I could easily be identified on Reddit. Most of the younger generation here use it. To answer some of the other questions that popped up last time. 1. What we did at 13, I do not consider to constitute a history or even anything towards the lines of a romantic interaction. It was 2 kids experimenting one night under the influence of alcohol. What happened half of my life ago does not mean a thing to me today. 2. When you have not seen one of your best friends in years and are really excited that you finally do, let us see how quickly you remember to translate. The conversation between her and I lasted a few minutes before I included my girlfriend in it too. A few minutes excitement after so long should not be considered rude, and was not. I actually took everyone's advice for this and apologized to her, and she told me that it did not bug her in the least, and that it would be the same if it was reversed. Also, as I said, my girlfriend does speak and understand my language. It just has to be done slowly. 3. I do not consider topless naked, as I believe no one should. That other cultures sexualize a regular part of the human body so much makes no sense to me whatsoever. This, to me, is the equivalent to ears needing to be covered up at all times, but to each their own. 4. My girlfriend, as a guest in my country, should respect the relationship I have formed with my friends over the years. She should also understand that local customs differ much. The same goes for me when I'm in her country and with her friends. 5. The states of undress I've seen her in regardless of that one night. Actually, that one night, I don't recall actually paying naked with her. I've seen her like that because over the years while changing, skinny dipping, sleeping in the same hotel, etc. 6. This is just a side note. By the end of the trip, she said that she wished that the West was more like this, as it eliminates many insecurities about the human body and hang-ups that you all seem to have. Edit. Just want to add, to those of you who gave constructive advice, thank you, it is much appreciated. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Let's move on to another story. Now, our next post comes from Reddit Girl 125. It comes in 3 parts and the comments are sort of mixed in things. So I'm just going to go through 3 parts, one after the other. It's titled, My boyfriend 27 male has prohibited me from saying a certain word and gets angry at me 27 female when I accidentally say it. My boyfriend does not like it when I use WTF while we are texting or chatting online. WTF is something that I have been using since I was 13 and honestly it is a hard habit to break. It's like asking someone to stop typing lol or LMAO. I know he doesn't like WTF because it has a swear word in it. He has told me that it sounds very rude to him. I'm confused why I'm not allowed to use WTF because he says fuck a lot while we're together. I told him that he uses the swear word too, and his response was, so it's my fault. So it's my fault. I can sort of see how WTF can sound rude to people, and I honestly have been trying my best to stop using it, but today it just slipped because I was shocked by something. Can someone help me understand his perspective? And the comments was just talking about a lot of controlling behavior, etc, etc. OP went on to the next update and said, I talked to my boyfriend after the incident and this is how it basically went down. The OP said, are you still upset with me? Boyfriend says, no, I don't care anymore. You don't have to change yourself for me. But just to let you know, I'm not attracted to girls that say WTF often. OP says, is it just the acronym WTF or is it the F word too? Boyfriend says both. OP says, okay, noted. Will you stop swearing as well? Boyfriend says, okay, I really don't like your attitude. Every time I bring up an issue, you say, can you do this as well? Saying, okay, noted was good enough. Let's not talk for a while. Message me next week. To which OP says, okay. I wanted to bring up issues such as why he feels he can swear but I cannot. But as you can see, I didn't even get to talk much as he is refusing to talk to me until next week. Right now, I do not mind as I have a lot going on my plate right now. I don't want to deal with anything until my stuff gets sorted out, but I am appalled by his behavior. I do not believe I displayed a bad attitude. I simply asked if he is going to do the same because he swears as well. Am I missing something here? Did I really display a bad attitude? And as you can imagine, the comments are still talking about manipulative behavior, controlling, get out of the relationship, etc, etc. OP goes on to another update and says, hey guys, wow. I did not expect to get so many replies from my update, but thank you all. Here is basically what happened. Sorry if it ends up being a long post. So it didn't take me long to decide that I am done with this guy, but I did leave my clothes in his car, so I wanted it back. Unfortunately, he is out of the country on a business trip for 2 weeks or so, and he left his car at a friend's house who happens to live in my neighborhood. Since he explicitly told me not to contact him for a week, I was going to take the advice of people here and just never talk to him again. Get my stuff quietly and tell him that it is over. I contacted his friend and asked him if I can come to his house and pick it up so that it will be of no inconvenience to him. His friend then offered to come to my place and drop it off. An hour or so later, I get a call from my now ex-boyfriend, thank God, who is flipping his shit saying that I'm bothering his friend and asking why I'm so desperate to get my stuff back. And at this point, I think he's absolutely crazy because his friend is the one that offered to come to my place after I insisted twice that I pick it up whenever it's convenient for him. He then rambles about how my clothes are probably only worth $20 and then offers me $100 instead of giving me my stuff back. What the fuck? I then tell him that I do not want his dirty money. I tell him he is controlling and manipulative and he tells me that he is dropping me. Not knowing I already did that a while ago. He then blocked me. So yeah, I'm not getting my stuff back. An hour later he calls me again and says that he does not want to burn bridges. He then talks about how I will be successful in life, talks about all the good traits that I have and then tells me that he hopes I will not talk bad about him to anyone he knows. He cares a lot about his image. He told me that he is shocked that I called him manipulative and controlling as he never heard those words from anyone before and he does not believe he is. He then said, if I am manipulative and controlling, why do I have so many rich and successful friends? After that, he tells me that I am immature and he is much more experienced in relationships because he has dated more girls than I have dated guys. He has dated 6, I have dated 4. He keeps on rambling about how our city is small and he is well known, so he needs to keep his reputation up, but he called me to make me feel better. He told me that if I were to tell the whole world about the situation, everyone would agree with him. I laughed because I literally did ask the world being Reddit, and practically no one sided with him. I wanted to send him the link, but he blocked me on everything. He did apologize for being manipulative, controlling, and possessive, which really surprised me, but he said it in an annoying tone. That did not sound sincere, but hey, at least I got some sort of apology. He then tells me that he completely moved on from the whole WTF incident a long time ago, but he wanted to reinforce how bad it was so that I never do it again. He said if he didn't act mad, then I might think it's okay and will do it again. This made me feel like he was treating me like a dog that needs to be trained and conditioned to do certain things. I can obviously see this whole phone call was another manipulation attempt. to keep my mouth shut and to not spread rumors about him, which I wasn't going to do anyway. I get mad and call him delusional, and he calls me crazy and hangs up. Maybe I could have dealt with it more maturely and didn't let my anger get to me, but I can only take so much and I don't regret it. In good news, I feel happy and free. I look forward to finding someone that is the right man for me, instead of being with someone that is malicious. Thank you to everyone that responded and took the time to read all the updates. And absolutely, being out of that situation was the right thing to do, and I'm very glad you're out of that situation. One thing that always scares me though is that someone like this is going to find another relationship and someone else is going to be dealing with this person. A lot of the behavior throughout this whole post was controlling, manipulative, absolutely scary, but there's a couple of lines that jumped out to me, and one of them was certainly, he said, if he didn't act mad, then I might think it's okay to do and we'll do it again. You just think that's awful, isn't it? But like they say on Reddit, bullet dodge there. But what do you guys make of this situation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Let's move on to another story. And our next story comes from the Am I the A-Hole subreddit, from NoSheepTonight, who says, am I the arsehole for telling the truth about my 18th birthday and embarrassing my father to his university friends? So, bluntly, I, 20 male, was an unwanted child. A whoops pregnancy that my parents were too religious to abort. As a result, I pretty much raised myself until I was kicked out at 18. I won't lie, hurt being rejected by the people who were supposed to love me, but I'm at peace with it. With that tragic backstory out of the way, about 6 months ago, my parents reached out and started by apologizing profusely. I wasn't sure about getting back in contact, but they seemed genuine, so I tentatively went ahead. Things were going well, until they invited me to meet up in person. I showed up at the restaurant expecting a quiet dinner and a heart-to-heart. Instead, I found out that my father's fraternity had rented out the whole damn place for a 25-year reunion. He met me at the door and told me to act like we're a happy family in front of his old friends. I, being hungry as hell at this point, made a beeline for the buffet. He promised me dinner, and by God, I was going to have it. I tried to blend into the background until I got chatting with some other folks my age. My father's friends, kids I assume. They started talking about their parents and I nodded and smiled along. Then I was directly asked what I got for my 18th birthday. I didn't know what to say, so I defaulted to the truth. So what did your parents get you for your 18th? I said, I got kicked out. Cue the awkward silence. He said, oh my God, are you okay? That sounds awful. I said, yeah, I'm fine. I just moved in with my aunt while I go to my college. Where do you all go? They then got to gossiping about their schools, and I made myself scarce shortly afterwards. Later that night, my father started blowing up my phone, admonishing me for embarrassing him. Apparently, what I said had gotten back to my father's friends, who are now being very cold to my father. He was angry with me because it wouldn't have been a big deal to just lie and save face, and now he's in hot water with his university friends. I muted him and went to bed. I was sure that I was in the right here, but now I'm having doubts. I'm worried that my parents might not want to keep in contact after I basically threw a monkey wrench into his relationships with his university friends. So, am I the arsehole? Now, hopefully I'm not off base on this one, but it just sounded like all he wanted to do was show that he has a happy family. He had no interest in actually meeting you, which I know sounds absolutely horrific to say. It didn't really sound like he spent any time with you at this party. He just wanted you to act like a happy family so he can save face in front of his friends. And you're absolutely not the arsehole for telling your truth in this situation to me. Absolutely awful, people, and I'm sorry that you're having to go through that. The chaos in a cookie jar says not the arsehole 100%. First and foremost, you will never be the arsehole for telling the truth. I don't mean any offense when I say this, but it's clear that you are not at peace with what your parents did to you. Even in the last paragraph, you're still seeking the approval of the people who never cared about you at all. The fact that he told, not asked but told you to play happy families for his friends is telling that they're not sorry at all. Even if they do go no contact, don't sweat it. They don't deserve you after what they've done. Stray's mum says not the arsehole. Your dad tried to use you to look good in front of his buddies. The joke was on him because you told the truth. Now, think about this very carefully. You honestly want to be in your parents' life if all you are is a prop. You deserve to have people around you who value you for being you. I had cold parents and it didn't matter how hard I tried. Nothing I did was ever good enough. There is no shame in walking away from emotionally abusive parents. You deserve better than that. Stella430 says, not the arsehole, not at all. Your parents were trying to be the happy family that they've been showing on every Christmas card for the past 20 years. You didn't go make a scene. You didn't grab the microphone and announce, hello everyone, my parents are awful. They never wanted me and kicked me out on my 18th birthday. You gave other kids a truthful answer to an innocuous question. And I guess like a couple of those comments says, what are they actually adding to your life? What value do they bring to your life? They kicked you out at 18. They just brought you to this party to show that they're a happy family and wanted you to act as such. And like I say, I know it's very, very easy for me to say when I'm sat here just talking into a microphone and not actually living the experience that you're going through. And again, I'm incredibly sorry that you are going through that. It must be fucking awful. But from the little bit of life that you shared with us here, I can see that they ain't adding much value to your life at all, and you deserve much better. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Just a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart for getting involved in today's stories. Your love, your support, your time always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much for being involved. And hopefully I will see you in the next one. Take care and much love.
Wake up, get up, stretch my legs, eat some breakfast, milk and eggs, brush my teeth up, wash my face, throw my clothes on, start my day. Wake up, I can smell the